The target of gang stalking is at a crossroad where they are presented with the choice to follow one of two paths on their life's journey: the path of courage or the path of fear. You could choose the path of fear. On this path, you may achieve some level of material success, but you miss the possibilities of exploring your full potential and understanding the core aspects of your existence. You could also choose the path of courage. This path is harder but more adventurous. On this path, you get to enjoy the privilege of exploring your full potential in this human form. Choosing courage over fear is a very uncommon act because the path of courage is usually very challenging. So naturally, people that choose courage over fear are very rare people. Now, choosing to stand firm on the truth in the face of spiritual attacks like gang stalking is a very courageous act. So if you find yourself making these choices, then it's perfectly safe to assume that you're one of the few courageous ones. Now, this is very important to understand because at some point in your gang stalking attack experiences, you will be required to go into deep levels of isolation. This isolation period is meant to protect you and create a safe space that allows you to rediscover yourself. But of course, you're not going to recognize it as a positive thing at first because isolation feels like a punishment, especially when you're in desperate needs to communicate with other people. But trust me when I say that sharing your spiritual attack experiences with the wrong people is one of the mistakes that the isolation is trying to protect you from making. Being targeted with a gang stalking attack is a sign that you're going through a spiritual awakening of some sort, which is why you're able to perceive the attack in the first place when it's mostly invisible to other people around you. There are entities and forces out there that do not want people like you to exist in this realm. That's how they maintain their dominance over the human society. So they're going to try to use this period to annihilate you, so that by the time you awaken to the false matrix, you would have been terribly compromised beyond recovery, in a mental asylum, or gone out of here. Most of these beings are higher dimensional entities that fell from grace at some point in their evolution. So they feel a strong urge to play the role of a god in the lives of lower dimensional entities such as humans. They fully understand universal and spiritual laws. They know that free will do not allow them any claims to humans whatsoever. So they use manipulation and deception to try to control the human race. Every system of control you could possibly imagine is established by these entities, including organized religion, which unfortunately is the worst form of control in the human society today. This is the curse that has been upon humanity for generations. Trying to break this curse is why you are being targeted with a gang stalking attack. And once you become a target, every human that's under the influence of this spell automatically become a tool that can be used by these entities to prevent your ascension. That's why it's important to keep your spiritual attack experiences private, because every information you put out there will be used against you in ways that you cannot perceive with five sense perception. This is one of the many reasons why you're being forced into solitude by universal forces.